So, Don Jazzy. Let's talk about Don Jazzy really quickly. There was a title of this one here, concept. Don Jazzy, I don't mind women who cheat. Okay, maybe I'm taking him out of context a little bit. Let's watch this video. Maybe tell me if I took him out of context, but let's see.
If that is what you want, I don't want to force you to stay there and say, if you are a person that really, you don't mind one prick for the rest of your life, whether I big, whether I small, whether I the fuck up in the house, I the fuck up in the house, if you can take it, okay, fine, or whatever. I don't intend to, but then if for some reason you have the need for somebody else, it is possible, just as you did have need for somebody else. So now, what makes you supposed?
Who tell you say again?
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. What is good for the goose is good for the guy. If you have need for somebody else, why don't you think that the lady too?
So which means what you dey try talk now? Is a girl not fake con date you, tell you say just only you want, you not go agree.
Why she go do that kind of thing? It's a Don Jazzy.
No. If the lady tells him that he's the only one she's involved with, Abi, that's what he's saying.
Meanwhile, and she know say you
don't understand what he's saying is, for example, if a lady comes to him to tell him you are the only one I am involved with intimately.
Okay, yeah, she's free to tell him now. She's free to tell him.
You can say that if it's true. Thumbs up to you. But it hard me to believe.
So you believe, say, because me
now, you see, because of because of this mindset that I have now, I am opportunity to be with a bunch of women that actually now open up to me and tell me the truth. They're the wife too. But you will want to believe that they are
exactly. now what won't carry me come where the question the thing why I want talk. Baba, fuck, I've said it here before.
What do you, ladies and gentlemen of Prestige, feel about this? A man says he doesn't mind if you're wiping too outside of him. How do you feel about that? Let me see. Let's see. Hey, life would not too good to see. The guy is being manipulative. Let's see. Are you serious, Don Jazzy? Baby daddy. That's your baby daddy. Anyway, let's see what he said. Let me break this down, because I don't know if you really got what he said clearly.
I don't want to force you to stay there and say, if you are
it doesn't want to force you to stay there. If
a person that really, you don't mind one prick for the rest of your life.
If you're a woman, particularly if you are his woman and you don't mind his one prick for the rest of your life,
whether I big, whether I small, whether
I big, whether I small, okay?
I the fuck up in the house. I the fuck up in the house. If you can take it, okay, fine, or whatever. I don't intend to. But then if for some reason you have the need for somebody else, it is possible, just as you did have need for somebody else.
Ladies, if you, for example, you want a need for somebody else and you're messing with Don Jazzy, did I interpret him right? He said it doesn't. Okay, so it's not women that cheat. Let me take that back. It's basically a woman who is interested in multiple. What do you call it? They call it poly. Is it polyamorous, polygyny, polygamy? Which one is it? Where's D'Souza when we need her? She can define it for us, right?
So now, what makes you supposed?
Who tell you say again?
I'm just saying. What is good for the goose is good for the guy.
What is good for the goose is good for the gander.
If you have need for somebody else, why don't you think that the lady too?
So which means what you try to talk now?
We've covered this lesson today, ladies. What did you, if you translate it back to one of the main lessons when we're going to the Andrew Tate 9 Truth, right? What is the lesson here that this guy? I don't want to give you the answer yet. Hold on one second.
Is a girl not fake con date you, tell you say just only you want, you not go agree.
Why she go do that kind of thing? It's a Don Jazzy.
No.
So Nedu is asking, like, if a girl comes to you and say, "Hey, Jazzy, you're the only one I want."
If the lady tells him that he's the only one she's involved with, Abi, that's what he's saying.
Meanwhile,
he's saying he doesn't believe that since men generally will be interested in other women, right? That's you should expect that a woman. Is that true?
No, say you. They
You don't
involved
understand
with
what he's saying is, for
12
example,
others.
if a lady comes to him to tell him, you are the only one I am involved with intimately.
Okay, yeah,
And she's
she's free to
expecting
tell
the
him
same
now.
energy.
You
She's
can
free to
say, you
tell
can
him.
say that if it's true.
Good.
Thumbs
Good
up
for
to
her.
you.
Oh, he said if it's true, thumbs up to you. I don't know if you're hearing in between the lines for Don Jazzy right now. You know, Don Jazzy is a 40-something-year-old man, 40 plus, who is not married. Never been married before. Okay, he was married in his early 20s, a marriage that nobody knew about. But he's never really been fully blown married, okay? If that's a thing, right?
But it hard me to believe.
So there you go. I didn't have to read between the lines. He said it's hard for him to believe that you just want him. Right? It's hard for him to believe that all you want is just him. So we didn't have to read too much in between the lines. Are we getting down to the issue here? Okay. What did it sound like at first? Like, hey, you should expect that her too, she will want multiple pricks. If you want just this one prick, small or big go, that's what, that worked for you. But, feel free to do you, essentially what he's saying. Right?
You believe, say, because me.
Now, you see, because of because of this mindset that I have now, I am opportune to be with a bunch of women that actually now open up to me and tell me the truth.
Is that the reason why he's doing that? Is that because he wanted women to feel safe and just be able to tell him the truth? Right? Is that why? What do you ladies
Stop
think?
the cap.
Is that why he's doing that? He just wants women to feel safe and be able to tell me the truth. Is that why? I mean, there's deeper issues here.
And then they wipe too. But
He said that they wipe too. That means that they wipe too, right?
you will want to believe that they are sitting there.
Exactly.
He said, do you want to believe? And he has his partner there, Nedu. We know Nedu went through some things in recent times. He went through a paternity fraud situation with his ex-wife. So I can understand how Nedu thinks. Okay? It's going to be hard for him to trust women, period. Sorry. Because it's a human being, right? But what is Don Jazzy trying to tell us? Because if Nedu can relate with you, that may be a red flag. At least now. Okay? Let me see, at least now. Because I've listened to some of his rhetorics, right? And if you find yourself relating with Nedu, that's a red flag. Let's keep going.
now waiting won't carry me come where the question.
Anyway, let me see what you ladies and gentlemen are talking about. Hey, yeah, so polyandry. Hey, Temilade, good to see you, Temilade. Not true at all. Don't know the kind of girls Don Jazzy has been involved with. The question is that, would you want him to give you this type of freedom? You can wipe anytime you want, anything you want, right? So it's not actually seeking cheaters, it's seeking open relationship. That's what that sounded like, right? Not exactly polyandry, but maybe something like that, right? Don Jazzy is afraid to commit because he wants to chop ogbono and egusi wahala. So Baba wants an open relationship. That's what I'm thinking, But a typical man, they don't jump out of heaven and want relationships, open relationships. That's not how that works. A typical man, maybe he's not the typical man. Maybe he's a special type of dude. Most men are looking at him like this guy is mad. Like, what you right? Let's see. Olive says, nope, he has issues within himself, right? He has issues within himself. He's a hot mess. Experiences do screw people up, man. It does. It does. That's why you should never jump out of a situation without making sure that you assess how that has tampered with your mindset. And while it sounds good on the surface to certain type of people, like, hey, you just give people freedom. There's some freedom that will destroy you. By the way, do you like the background, the new background? Do you like it? If you like the new background, let me know. Okay. This is what it looks like. Not like I can change it, but you can see my face better. Oh, Wahala. Let's see. Bro, I can never eat one at a time, Biko. Oh, you can't do that. Like never. Double dating self na struggle for talk more of intimacy, because if anything happen, I know who to hijack. Exactly. Typical people, both men and women, are like that. Okay. Now, men do have a tendency, because society kind of allows it in weird ways, little ashewo eyes here and there, right? But there's so much going on in life, especially if you live in the Western world, that if you're a typical man, there's no time for nonsense anyway. Unless it literally comes to your front door, which is typically not the case, right? But he's a man, he's a rock star, he lives in that world, he sees a lot of girls. But if I were to bet on it, I'm sure somebody might come back later on and tell us, somebody that's close to Don Jazzy. He's a guy who's a rock star, they attract certain type of women, and he fell in love and he was served breakfast. So now he's trying to overcompensate for that. Say, hey, people are going to do it anyway. No. The person you messed with did that. That's what happened. I'm speculating, but that's what happened. So he's going to cast and tell everybody and we know that most people are not capable of that, like Natu just said. So they will not try it, but it will become very, very messy, because as much as you think you're giving people passes, they will get caught up in their feelings. Jealousy is not your mate. When it creeps in, they'll be like, but we give ourselves freedom. But that doesn't mean you should just that's what's going to happen. Because we are territorial as human beings. And anytime you try to swim against the trend, you could just collect. Yeah. A thief will always think everyone is a thief. That's what I think is going on, personally. Strongly disagree. Don Jazzy, speak for yourself, sir. Don Baba's comment is screaming Hugh Hefner. Yeah, Hugh Hefner does not justify lack of jealousy. Jealousy is a real thing, and Hugh Hefner does not try to recruit people on a podcast. He didn't, right? Hugh Hefner is not your typical man. That's why I laugh at men that try to compare themselves to Hugh Hefner. And so you're not Hugh Hefner, and you're not going to be Hugh Hefner. There's going to be one Hugh Hefner in any lifetime. How about that? So you compare yourself to that, you go collect water. We got one last story to cover. This story is a story that keeps giving, and we kind of have to cover it. This is going to allow me to relax more, but I know you wanted to see my opinion on it, so let's cover it in a few minutes before we end the session.